Hello, my name is David Liu. I am from Chemistry 119, Section 634, and today I'm going to talk about the difference between a physical change and a chemical change. Firstly, a physical change, within this change, the substance that's being changed on does not change the identity of it. So the reactant and the product has the same properties. And the example of showing a physical change is the change in the state of matter. And I can see here the change from a solid to a liquid, and a liquid to gas, and then a gas to a solid. It's all stages of a physical change. And then there are also indicators such as the change in texture, which is something you can feel, the change in volume, the size of the material, and then the change in density. And now to notice that the change in volume and the change in density are two separate things. Volume is the actual size of it, and density is more the molecule inside it. And to replicate a physical change, I done a little home lab in my house in which I performed cutting a banana. Before the physical change, the banana was whole, and as you can see, it's bigger in volume. And after the physical change, me cutting it, it's smaller. Now the identity, both of materials are still bananas through this change. And after this, we talk about chemical change. Now, differently from a physical change, a chemical change is more complicated. It requires the course of a chemical reaction. And now some of the common indicators of a chemical change is that the substance within this change separates. Like it's a different identity from the reactant to the solution. And some of the common indicators, such as the formation of precipitate, which you can see commonly as we were taught about the precipitation reaction this year, where we have aqueous reactants forming a solid solution. And some of the other common seeing indicators are the formation of gases, and you can see it in a combustion reaction where water, H2O vapors releases in the end product. And some of the others are changing temperature. And note that this changing temperature is the substance itself changing, not from the environment around it changing it, like heating it or cooling it is changing it by itself. And changing color, which is very simple to understand, the substance changes its color in the course of the reaction. And here in this picture, I indicate the change of a combustion reaction with the wood. As the wood is burned, the logs reacts with the oxygen in the air to produce this carbon dioxide and water vapor releasing, causing the formation of gases. And to formulate a chemical reaction in my house, I made caramel from sugar and water. And basically, in this process, here's an example of the homemade caramel that I made. And to simply explain it, basically, in this process, we add the sugar and the water into a pan, and then we heat it until the water completely vaporizes, and we stir the pan until we form caramel. And in this process, the sugar is broken down into glucose and fructose, and then it's later then reassembles to a complex polymer. And in the end, we get caramel. And this process takes around 15 minutes to replicate in my house.